still, der Anblick war so schön. 1000 Messer Bier mit schönem vollen Schaum. Bier, so wird gebraut. Bier, leider was ein
That's it.
Auf Wiedersehen. Auf Wiedersehen. Is that goodbye?
That's goodbye.
Oh, well, hello. Well, that was the shortest broadcast ever. Anyway, Joe Lewis here with Battle Rankings Live. I'm here with
Guten Tag.
Guten Tag. Yeah, right. It is night here. Guten Tag.
Guten Tag is day, I think.
Is it Guten Tag? I thought it's Tag or what's night? Never mind. Yeah, all those 2 years of German classes.
Nacht is Guten Nacht.
Guten Nacht?
Nacht.
Nacht
is night. Yes.
Not?
Nacht.
Nacht?
Nacht. Nacht.
Nah, that's why I had C's. Anyway, I'm Joe Lewis, Battle Rankings Live. I'm here with my lovely and talented and multifaceted producer and wife. Say hello, Ann.
Hello, Ann.
So it's part 2 of the Germans, which means Oktoberfest. Part 2. So we, grab your mug. We'll make this a drinking game. I'm not too sure what the word will be, but it will be something. I don't know. It'll transpire. Well, first of all, let you know what we're doing. Kind of go back to the actually pop there. Okay. Well, today's September 22nd, the year of our Lord 2020, and we're doing the part 2 of the Germans. Next week, we'll be moving it up one day. It kind of just fits better in my schedule. But
you knew what we're...
Oh, there's the...
It was me. I blooped it. Sorry.
That's all right. Well, at least the audio is coming through on their site.
Guten Abend, said Patrick Liu.
Guten.
Maybe Patrick can tell us what the translation of that song is, because I've been asking people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Guten Abend is good evening.
So next week we're gonna take a break from this just for a bit and for 1 week, and I'm gonna go over tournament scoring in the different tools. And one of the things I'll be reviewing is the using Best Coast pairings. And I could show you, I'll do a demo on how you could set up to do your tournament with Best Coast pairings. They are not a paid sponsor or anything, but I think it's a good tool for you. I should contact them and see if they could be a paid sponsor. That would be interesting for us to actually make money on something instead of losing it. And then after that, in October, we're going to do the D-Day Americans, split it in 2, and then come right back to the Germans. But the bad guys, boo, boo, the SS on the 20th and 26th. And then hopefully you guys have plenty of time. The books just came out this week or last week. Yeah, last week. And we'll actually now then review the Soviet migration. One of the things to remember, this isn't a first look book. No, what we're doing is actually giving you plenty of time to review the book, give us your feedback, and then I'm going to bring a subject matter expert on, and we are going to discuss said book and formations and that kind of stuff, and just let you know, kind of remind you that how we're doing it. So we did the survey for the DJ. We did it for the British. We did it for the Germans. And then we'll, starting tomorrow, we'll be doing it for the Americans. The scores are M. It's the meta. It's broken, and that's how good they are. A, strong contender, few weaknesses. Give it a B for good against certain opponents and situations. C, a potentially fun list, but will struggle. And D, it's a dog. that is what how we did the scoring. So, and we'll be pulling it up and reviewing that. So, what I want to do is I'm going to bring in my subject matter expert, and from last week, it's Keith Gilmore. Hello, Keith.
Good Abend, Joe.
Is that how you say it?
It is. Yeah. That high school German is doing me proud here.
Well, it didn't do. You know, the only reason I took German was because I wanted to date some gal.
That's as good a reason as any, Joe.
Yeah, and then the German teacher's like, no, yeah, you need to do something else. And ironically, as my foreign language, I took a programming class, and they counted as my foreign language. And you know what? And it sent me down a path. You know.
Yeah.
So, yeah, who knew programming an Apple IIc would lead me to the sent me in the direction I'm in today. Leader of industry, and
every journey begins with a single step, Joe.
Yeah, but at least I can say my story goes. There was a girl.
Yeah, that's probably a better start.
Yeah. Let's kind of review. And Keith and I were, we were chit-chatting a little, and before this, and we were talking about the Panzer IVs, the Panzer IV Company and the 21st Panzer, the Hotchkiss. And
easy for you to say.
Yeah, Hotchkiss. Yes. It is French.
Hopscotch.
No, it's Hotchkiss. But if the CH was silent, it'd be a hot kiss.
Hey.
Hey. Keep it PG, folks. PG. Okay. We basically we talked, and after some soul searching, I dropped him down to a D. So it's just they're that bad. I'm like, I felt awful putting him up to a C, and especially the Panzer IV. So, you know what that's going to lead me to? I'm like, I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. So, you ready?
I'm ready, Joe.
I am going to do the Panzer IV Challenge.
What?
Yeah, I know. Basically, if you play a Panzer IV formation, only a Panzer IV formation.
D-Day, right?
No, D-Day German Panzer IV formation in a North American Nationals. So, that'd be like Adepticon, Historicon, LVO, Las Vegas, and Canada. You play in one of those, and you take first, second, or third. I will give you $100
of his own money.
Of my own money. Now, personally, I think it's the safest $100 on the planet.
Yeah, it's a pretty safe bet.
But here, what we're going to do is part of the things I want to do. Whoop, I'm going over here. Is that I want.
What if they win best painted or best sport?
No, they have to take first, second, or third. They could be the nicest guy ever, but they got their asses handed to them as nice guys. Oh, hey, it killed my Panzer IV formation again. It's like this. I said there's more to follow, but what I want to do is, if you're going to do this, you're going to take this challenge up. I want you to inform me first.
Run the Midmasters.
Okay, so that
Okay.
so I can meet you at Nationals and film the whole your journey through a Nationals event, playing a Panzer IV formation. and document it like a documentary. That way, when we get done, and I'll air it, it will be a warning to others.
I think the title should be Panzer IV Formation, an exercise in futility.
You know, so, but I'm throwing it out there, $100. You know, I'm good for it. There it is. I'll get it. You know, this is something I kind of crazy idea I came up with on the drive home from work over here. I'm like, you know, if I'm going to do this, I might as well, go how all in I'm in. All in I'm in. I'm in all in. I'm all in. I'm all in. 100 smack rooms. Benjamin Franklin. Probably 5 Jeffersons. But anyway,
Who's on the $20 bill?
Jackson.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just don't take it to an Indian casino. And
Well, can you add a second formation?
no, because then it's not really a Panzer IV formation, is it? It's basically you have your formation, and then you just have some Panzer IVs tagging along. Because I was thinking about that. Oh my God, what happened if I did a scout cars or something like that? And it was really a Panzer IV. So anyway, so that is what I want to do. So I'm just throwing that out there. How about that, huh? Didn't see that one coming, did you?
Yeah, that's pretty exciting, Joe.
Okay.
He doesn't sound very excited.
I hope not SS. It's got to be from the D-Day book, because I think when you see the SS, it's probably a little bit different tune. The D-Day book, Panzer IVs. Yep. What's it? 18 for 4? No, it's 22 for 4.
Yeah,
that's right.
22 for 4.
Yep. So, good luck. I you know what would be hilarious? Everybody and their grandmother, 60 people show up with all Panzer IV formations.
Somebody's got to win. Yeah.
I don't know, but it's it's gonna be really hard when all the matches are 3-3.
Oh, jeez.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, okay, I'll just throw that out there.
The drinking word is overpriced.
Uh,
Andy Hobson.
Overpriced?
Yes.
Okay. That's good enough for me. So, yeah, the drinking word is overpriced.
Overpriced? Yeah, okay.
Overpriced. All right, here we go. Overpriced. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, probably anything that's like overpriced, underperforming. Oh, I said it again. No, now it's becoming like a Monty Python sketch.
Yeah.
I said it again. Anyway, so let's now let's get back to serious business. That's what we're here for, right? People are like, they don't want to hear the shenanigans. But by the way, that is an open challenge to everyone out there. And by the way, you didn't hear my wife balk at it either. So, she's like, you sure someone's not going to win that money? I'm like, you know what? It's good. Let's begin. Okay.
Watch Fretz takes you up the challenge. No.
Yeah, he's not gonna play Germans.
Okay.
So there's a couple people that could come out of retirement, but even if they did, they still wouldn't get it. And I was thinking as a joke, I'd just run one myself. Just like, oh hey, because by the way, because here's something to think about. To get in the top 10, you need to win 4.
Mm-hmm.
And the more 8-1s you get of those 4, the higher you go in the top 10. Now, to actually win, You need 5.
Hmm.
Yep. And your losses can't be ones. So, yeah. And by the way, I did a Southern Nationals. I won all 6 rounds, and I think I had a bunch of 7-2s and 6-3s. So, and that's how you can, if you take all 6 that way, that's fine. But yeah, you got to do 8 1s, and if you did 4 8-1s and 2 3-3s or something like that, or 3s, okay, that's a good question. That, of course, what happens if 3 people win place and show with Panzer IV lists? $100 each one. Yeah, the other $300. 100 for you, 100 for you, 100 for you. Because I know one thing, that's not going to happen. Yeah. And by the way, if it does, I'm like with Rich here. I expect before the prizes could be handed out, the doors of the convention center would burst open, and 4 riders on a horse would come busting through. Okay?
Be a sign of the apocalypse.
Oh yeah. What is it? War, death, pestilence, and famine. Yes. Yeah. So that would happen first. Okay. So, well, you know what? Panzer IVs to Masters. Well, if you want to be mocked and ridiculed, sure. Hey, we're amongst friends here.
Are you going to talk about Masters?
Well, I guess that's a good segue.
So be careful, Joe, because I did that last year.
You brought Panzer. Oh, that's right. Well, no, you brought Panzer IV's port.
No, I brought a Panzer IV company for my tank company last year.
Oh.
It's the last time I played a Panzer IV company.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Okay. All right. Speaking of Masters, I might as well bring it up now. All right. So, for those who are all knowing, first of all, the end of the season is September 30th. So, for all those people playing tournaments out there, make sure you get them in before I think the 2nd or 3rd or something like that. As far as I know, there are 3 tournaments happening this weekend. One in Dayton, Ohio, Minneapolis. Oh no, Rochester, right?
Yep, Rochester,
Minnesota, and one here in Indianapolis. So the Indy one, I don't think there'll be too much fluctuation on whatever happens. Though it could pass. Andrew's on here. I think he wins. It gets him really darn close. But I think all the movement really and the potential is going to be in Ohio and in Minnesota. There was a tournament last weekend, and I think Bill White jumped up into the top 16. So congratulations, Bill. So, but the question is, does it matter? And the answer is yes. Yes, it does matter. Because I care. Keith cares.
I care.
Yeah. There is going to be Masters this year. Working with our partners over at Battlefront, we were able to secure a location. The Hard Knock Games in Kentucky will be hosting the Flames of War Masters 2020 tournament the weekend before Thanksgiving, which I think is the – I'm not going to pull up my calendar. The 21st and 22nd. Okay. Now,
Excellent,
Battle,
Joe.
huh?
That's great news.
It is great news. You ready for better news?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, you're gonna love this one. So a lot of the So we split up the work about who's going to do what. So I'm handling the invitations and collecting shirt sizes. Yay! But the thing is that Battlefront, with the people that they have on staff, they were not comfortable with coming up with a format. And since I am planning to play, because I'd like to play, because I have fun at these things, I did not think it was kosher if I came up with the format. So I found someone to do it. A past Masters player and national tournament winner, ETC winner. So this gentleman has been all over the place, so he knows these things. And he has a fine way of taking a Masters format and figuring out all the loopholes. So I asked Brian Coaches to come up with the format this year. Okay, so he's going to work on it, and then right before I sent out the invitation, he is going to send it to me. So I'll just copy and paste it into the invitation, and I'll probably know a couple hours before you do when I send it out the invitation. So not so bad. I only have a few hours. By the way, actually, Aaron, that's who I was thinking of. By the way, just to let you know, Columbus, which is is it in Columbus? I thought it was in Dayton. The Ohio tournament has a couple openings left. So if you want to get out there and get in there. I don't know. Oh, no, actually it wasn't Wilcox. It was, what's his name from New England? He plays Germans all the time. But anyway, Aaron will come up with it. He hasn't played for a while. Okay, anyway, so there you go. So, yeah, Masters, Kentucky, in November. Save those dates. The invitations will be going out in early October. I have someone else coming up with the format, so that should be very exciting, because his text message back to me when I asked him was blah ha 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 ha.
Uh-oh.
Ha ha ha. So I'm looking forward to it. I want to see what evil he could come up with. I did tell him, hey, you got to remember that if someone is flying, there's only so much room. That's it. I think if someone put their brain power to it, Phil Messier might, maybe, I don't know, he'd have to come out of retirement.
Well, I bet after watching this episode, Brian will make the rules say that everyone has to bring Panzer fours.
Yeah, well, it's a good thing it's not nationals.
I've got a rough translation on those lyrics, by the way.
You do? Okay, so the opening song, you have a rough translation of the okay, go for it.
I'm actually going to message them to you too, so I can read them. Okay. 1,000 bottles of beer have I seen this night. 1,000 bottles of beer. They didn't know the something was so pretty. I'm going to say it's probably the girls were so pretty. 1,000 bottles of beer with pretty full foam. Beer, 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 beer. And then a bunch of stuff about tossing it down. It's an Oktoberfest dog.
Well, yeah. And once again, you got to keep it real simple. You're not going to remember, All right, let's get back to the main event. So be on the lookout. There's going to be some movement, I'm sure, with the final Masters. But there you go. So the big news. I'll be posting it too for those who don't watch this mega event. But anyway, let's begin with the D-Day German. Remember, we had. Oh, a couple more people filled in the thing. So we're sending 79 people send their things in for the survey. So we got 79 people in the survey, and mine and Keith's opinion on things. Let's be okay. First of all, you got to make sure if you're at home that you have your handy dandy handout with you. Right there. Okay. Yay, in the book. And we're first going to go to the Armored Panzergren Company. Keith, I know you play this. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, this is a great formation. I think this is one of the stars of the book, along with the other flavors of it. Your base unit is the Armored Panzer Grenadier platoon. You get 7 MG teams and 4 half tracks for 12 points. But of course, you can then add on your Panzer Faust option for 2 points. And even better, you can add 3 Panzer Schreck teams for another 2 points apiece. So you end up with a really expensive platoon, but they are super capable. You put them on an objective. Infantry can't go near them because you've got 7 teams with 3 dice each of MGs, and tanks have trouble getting in there for an assault because you've got effectively 4 anti-tank shots between your 3 Schrecks and your Panzerfaust. So really, once they're on there, your opponent's got to do some work to whittle them down before they're able to go near them at all for an assault.
Right, and that is true. All right.
And then go ahead.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, and then the other thing that the formation gives you is you've got some flexibility. You've got to take 1 platoon that matches your HQ, so your armored Panzer Grenadiers, and then you can mix in your second black box platoon, can be the Panzer Grenadiers without the half tracks or the recon platoon. So you've got a lot of flexibility to build them exactly how you want, which is good. And then, like a standard German formation, you've got all the tools that you need. You've got an MG platoon, you've got mortar platoon, you've got some flamethrowers, some PaK-40s, some AA, and you've also got the Stummel. Now, I think the Stummels are one of the sleeper units in this book. It is 9 points for 6 of them, and they're AT9 with heat and 3-up firepower, and so a unit of 6 of those really can do a lot of work.
I agree. I've played this formation with the Stummels. I think it's a must. The AT9 because it could take care of pretty much any all light stuff, and the volume of fire is ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, I regularly put them up against Shermans, and they come away on top.
Okay.
So I rate them really highly. Plus, they each have a machine gun. So you've got 6 half tracks with machine guns. You're going to keep infantry honest as well.
I think the other neat thing about it is, even though you have a little bit more, kind of digress. The thing about this book, unlike the British, it's not about the support formations. It's basically you're wrapping the support around the you wrap the support around the core formation versus the British, which is you wrap the core formation around the support. I'm thinking that I'm really digging these guys. I think the only thing I waffle on is the half track mortars. They tend to be aerial bait, but that's if they bring a plane. Well, that's okay. You get 4. I mean,
you get 4. I kind of like them for that. I mean, they can't be pinned. Plus, they've got a machine gun as well. So.
Yep. Yeah, I think it's a very solid list. In fact, if you really want, you can have the flamethrower half track too for whatever reason.
Yeah, you could.
And that's just for giggles.
Yeah.
And I've actually taken this formation and wrapped it around with the 88s with the Flak Panzer card. It just, you know, it's like I locked down two for ejectives with the flanking two 88s supporting my infantry, and it's like, you know, between the in the defending wise, yeah, that's just a tough nut to crack, because if you come in close enough to you know, pop the guns, you're gonna get popped by the you know, the anti-tank on the infantry. And if you try to take the infantry on, you're gonna get popped by the 88. So yeah, it's those are tough nuts to crack. And I personally feel I can attack with this list too.
Yeah.
So you know, even if you throw some tigers around it, which you do have enough points for tigers.
Yeah, definitely.
So how would now what's before asking how you'd rate it? Now you throw the 116 card on it, the Greyhounds.
Yep. Yeah, this is made for the 116th card. You know, it makes it so much better. But, you know, 2 points per platoon back. You know, it doesn't hurt them too much in terms of, you know, what it gives you, the 5+ last stand and the 4+ tactics. You can still have a really effective force, you know, with those ratings changed the way they are. And it you know, if you have 5 platoons in your formation, that's 10 more points. That's like playing with an extra 10% force, you know, against somebody else. So this is great with the 116th.
Yeah. I think the only thing it hurt if you take the 7.5 gun platoon, because the tactics goes to a 4. I think that's the only downside.
Yeah.
Yeah, because sometimes you need to get out of there.
Yeah, your blitz is just you're not as reliable with that, but
right.
Force shooting's good, but it's
okay. How do you rate the formation?
So I rate this as an A. But if you include the 116th card, it's edging its way towards an M for me. You know, it's just it's that good.
It's that good. Well, I am also between an A and an M. I also think it's that good. It's my go-to. So let's see what the voting public said. Half of them, 78 answered. Half of them was an A, followed by B, and then 11% said M. Now, I don't know where the D's come from. That's a little odd.
Yeah.
And there's a C. I'm not too sure where that's coming from, but I think the majority is spoken. I think we're going to move it to an A.
Yeah.
So move that to an A. All right. Let's move on to its counterpart, the just the regular Panzergrenz, which is, you know, basically the same, almost the same thing, just no half tracks.
Yeah, basically, you know, your standard platoon gets cheaper. It's 9 points instead of 12, but you lose the half tracks. So again, this has got the flexibility to take the second black box platoon, can be one of the other Panzer Grenadiers. So it could be you could bring one armored Panzer Grenadier unit, you know, as your other black box. So you've got a lot of flexibility there, but it gives you that little bit cheaper, you know, HQ and base, you know, first platoon in there to give you a few more points to throw elsewhere. You know, the main differences are things like the mortar platoon is only mortars without the tracks, and you can only take 2 of them. That's really, I think, the biggest difference in the platoon and the formation, aside from the base unit with no half tracks.
I think the one bummer about it is that the same group of boxes has your 12 centimeter and the 7.5 guns. So you couldn't take both, which is kind of sad because I would like to take. I think taking both would be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, we got some comments. Let me roll back in the comments. Aaron here says, I played against 3 players using different variants of the 116 this year at Wolf Creek. All 3 were in the top 10. I'm definitely a convert, and I'll be working on painting up my own 116. Well, you know what? Welcome to the pool. It is warm. The water is warm.
Yeah.
Actually, I've done this one too. Patrick is going to be working with the 9th card, 9th Panzer card. I tend to roll with that one instead of the 116 myself. That's very good. And oh, by the way, I'm going to help. Just I've got the wrong one. Sorry, you guys jumped on me. Jonathan, that tournament in New York, Ohio is 115 pointer. So that's a lot of points there. Let's see, Andrew here jumped in. The only downside to the unarmored Panzergrenz is the 2-tube mortar section. I agree. And the stumbles in the the 120s being the same box. Yes. That words of wisdom there, Andrew. Words of wisdom. But no, that is true about that formation. So it's kind of like,
yeah. I will say though that the 2-tube mortar section with the 1/16th card is only 1 point. So when it comes to rear guard and you have to pull off a platoon, that seems like a really good candidate for something like that.
Yeah, right.
Just saying.
Yeah, these guys are like, I'm just going to take my mortars and go home. Yeah. I think kind of like a lot of other formations, it's pretty much kind of the same. I just want to compare one thing to the book before I open my app to make sure. Right, yeah, you can't get the 12 centimeter mortars in the other one. So yeah, if you want a full mortar platoon, you just can't take the half tracks. The other bummer about the 12 centimeters, there's no smoke, which is usually very helpful.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they have a full plus save, which is not great either.
No, that's those large stand issues.
Yep.
You have large stand issues. What? Let's talk about. I think the one thing about this is because you don't have to worry about half tracks. And by the way, it's one of those things. Do you like pushing the half tracks? It's nice to have a lot of machine guns in there, but depending on who you're facing, they just become point sucks. So. Or depending on what you want to do. If you're fighting infantry on infantry, they're great. If you're not fighting infantry on infantry, they could be a liability. So I guess it comes down to what kind of like who you're fighting there, and how you I don't know how you want to line up your. Yeah, I know you can also have 3 Panzer tracks with them too. So yeah, it's like do I want to have tracks to save the points to use for something else, which actually gives you a little bit more support.
That's what I tend to go with. I usually play this, without the tracks, just to save those few extra points for other stuff.
So. You went first last time, so I'll go first this time. I think I'm just going to still put it as an A because there's not too much difference from the other one, so that'd be kind of like silly to say one was different. But it it has its differences to be different. But I'm still going to go with an A. How would you rank it?
Yeah, again, this is an A for me, and with the 1/16th card, it's an M for
Okay.
sure.
Let's see what the public had to say. They jumped all over the A. 70. What's kind of funny is that is that 78 only answered the other the armored, but all 79 answered this one, and 57% said an A, 26% said B, and 11% said M.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got your. It must be the same people. 3 said C and 1 said D. Oh.
Yeah, they must have had a bad time with this list.
Oh, yeah, they're like, wow, these guys tinkled my Cheerios, D's. I definitely don't think what they are. Now, geez. Yeah, we'll just throw them as an A.
Yep, throw them as an A, Joe. They're definitely not overpriced.
Oh, boy. You know what that means. So,
I'm sorry. I'm like falling asleep over here.
You're supposed to seamlessly come in seamlessly. Oh, that's the drinking music. It almost sounds like a cheer for a football game, but anyway.
It's that short.
It's that short.
It's 36 seconds.
I'm
Not
thinking,
even.
by the way, Patrick writes, they probably play their list with overpriced scores. There you go.
I'll take this one out.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Yeah, we don't. All right. I guess then we can move on to the other German infantry, which is the Recon Company.
Yeah, the Recon Company.
Page 59 of your handout. So, page 59. Why don't you go ahead, Keith? Take this one.
Yeah, so this one has some really interesting options in it. So your base platoon is a recon platoon, which is 7 stands of MG infantry with 7 STKF said 250 half tracks. So each one gets their own little half track to ride around in. And on top of that, you can add the Panzerfaust option for 2 points.
Mm-hmm.
But you get no Panzerschrecks with these guys.
Yeah, I guess they just weren't in line when they were handing them out.
Yeah, they were still drinking beer when they were handing those out.
And then I think the other interesting thing about the list is the options to take. You get Recon is actually baked into the Reconnaissance Company, which is like unheard of in some other list. But you could do Pumas, or you can do the 250 Scouts.
Yep.
So it depends on how many points you want to spend.
Mm-hmm.
I think once the Pumas are 4. What's the other one? Like 3?
Yeah, it's 3.
Oh, I wonder which way I'm leaning.
Yep.
By the way, you could take some the 234 is the 2 centimeters for 3. I guess the other thing is one has 3 units, the other one has 2.
Yeah, I'm taking the 3 stand, the 3 unit one every time.
You know,
for me.
right?
But the other option that this formation has in there is you've got a lot of choices for AT9. So if you like the Stummels and they're AT9, you've got 2 more units that you can take that have the same gun. You've got the 234 7.5 gun platoon, and then you've got the 250 recon gun platoon. So those both get scout as well as having the gun, but you can basically have 12 vehicles with your AT9 gun from the Stummel. So you can put out a ton of AT9 with heat.
The actually, I'm looking at the 62, page 62. Well, that's interesting. Oh, yeah, it's there. Hey, you know what is interesting is that you actually have 3 options for the 7.5 centimeter.
Yep.
Yeah, 3 options. So
Yeah.
you have a lot of AT9 rolling around. Yeah, well, though, you know, the one thing is the question here is a Hero T-34 is 3 points a tank, but why is the Puma 2? And then I think this is supposed to be an eye roll, as in some like yeesh, but I dare not read it too much more into it. Yeah. Well, actually, that's a good question. I guess it's because it has the scout rule. No, I'll just leave it there.
Yeah, just leave it there.
Well, I think, you know, I know when they went to this 100-point system, there is not much spread between 1 and 2 and 2s and 3s, right? You know, there's just not much spread there. And so when you start pointing these things out, you're like, well, it's just a point more. Yeah. I mean, I guess that's the only downside about, you know, that. Oh well. I mean, that's kind of the way it goes. Yep. Though sometimes when I put a list together, I'm like, boy, I just wish I had another 2 points. So the one thing about this list is that it gives you a bunch of everything, and everything is baked into your list.
Mm-hmm.
It's got more options. It's got your regular armor mortars. Where would you rank it?
I have this one as an A as well. Because again, you've got the flexibility for your second black box platoon. You can bring one of the other Panzer Grenadiers. So, you know, it's really good to you can bring one of the good platoons to go with the other slightly less good one.
Yeah. It is I actually would make it an M if it wasn't for the fact that you could not add items to the recon platoon, so which drops it down to an A.
Yeah, no, we didn't mention that those extra half tracks cost you an extra 2 points, so your platoon is a little more expensive.
Right. Well, or you don't take any of the half tracks. That's the other option. But when you don't take any of the half track, I mean, I guess I wouldn't. If you like half tracks, take this list.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's a ton of them out. You can put a ton of them out there.
Yep.
Let's see what the peeps said, which is kind of interesting. They went with 40% B, 31% A, 19% C, and 5% M, and 2% D. I wonder, is that the same two guys? Anyway, so yeah, B's, A's, C's, M's. Wow, boy, this one's all over the place.
Yeah, it divides opinion. For me, this one would be an A minus, right? The other two I think are just a little bit better. This one's still good, but it's not quite as good as the other two flavors of Panzer Grenadiers.
So there was a question, and the question is, I don't think the Half Tracks have mounted assault, right? I am looking at the book, and they do, and Jonathan has the answer. They do, but they get a 4+ instead of a 3. So that would be actually, that is a good question, and I'm going to look at the other one. Where are you?
The other one, if there's one passenger, it's a 4, and if there's 2 passengers, then it's a 3.
Oh, okay.
So each of these only have 1 passenger, so it's a 4.
There you go. That'll explain it. That would explain it. Okay, that's a good explanation, everybody. Wow, what a good way of tag teaming that. I'm gonna go and throw into an A also. Yeah, because I don't think we could drop that down to a B. I mean, it's a low A.
Yep.
But I still think if you're going to do German infantry, I think you'll do fine with all 3 of those. And each one, just find your playing style, and I think you'll be fine.
Yep. They're all good.
Then the next one on the list is the Puma Scout Company, which is a card, which is basically Puma, 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 Puma.
Yeah, you get 12 platoons of Pumas as an option here.
Mm-hmm.
Each platoon of Puma is 2 Pumas for 4 points. You then get 2 options of the 234s with the 7.5 centimeter gun, so you can get 6 of those. And then you can take 1 recon platoon, the infantry with the half tracks. So you've got a lot of boxes on this formation, but I don't think that a platoon of 2 Pumas is a good thing to base your formation on.
Now, so now I know this is late war, but in mid-war, I played in tournament with a guy who brought Pumas, and I was running my infantry one, I don't know, probably the Grenadiers or something like that, and they brought the Pumas. I brought the Grenadiers. I had Pack 40s and Martyrs. All right. And of course, I had the infantry. I was in no retreat, and the only thing off the table was my Tigers with the Tiger Ace card. So all I had to do was 1 roll, right?
Yeah.
Well, anyway, I don't think this guy got the memo on how this game works. So he pretty much just bum rushed all 1 million Pumas. And he's like, ha. He goes, but you only could take 2 platoons out at one time. I said, contraire. And I was doing this, the Martyrs, the Pack 40s ambushed, the Martyrs shoot and scoop. And it was basically this gun at that platoon, this gun at a different platoon, this gun at a different platoon, because all I needed was to pop one of them.
Yep.
And so I think I took out half his formation in 1 round.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's like, he was sad. Yeah, it was. I don't think this Puma is supposed to be your primary formation. So
no, it really isn't.
Yeah. So I'll go first this time. I'm going to go on a limb and call it a C. You might have fun with it. You might do something.
What?
But what's that? You think it's a D?
Oh, this is a D all day.
A D all day.
This is a D all day. They are overpriced. Christ.
Oh my God. Oh, over. Mm. Oh. A little late on the button.
Tausend Messer Bier, ich heute Nacht gesehen. Tausend Messer Bier, der Anblick war so schön. Tausend Messer Bier.
Okay, so overpriced. Oh, I said it again.
Oh, you said it.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I agree with Jonathan's comment on this. I think I would rather take a Panzer IV.
Wow. Okay. Well, wow. All right. That says a lot. Let's see what. That is not it. Hold on. Let me. You'll get to see me manipulate this in real time. We'll look at this out there. I have not looked at this, so I'm kind of curious what they're going to say. Well, they were a lot more forgiving. Well, here, okay, hold on. Wait a second. You got about half the people out there said a C. 21% said B. 17% said D. And then 5 people said A and 4 said M.
What?
Wow. I don't know. It's like, okay. So between the C's and D's, most people poo-pooed it.
Yep.
You know what? Screw it. It's a D.
It's a D.
It's a D.
All day, every day.
Yeah. Who knew the Pumas were dogs?
Yay.
It says here, who is the dumbass trolling about choosing A or M? I don't know. It's purely anonymous. So, by the way, there was a couple of people who did leave notes telling me who they were, but that was far and few in between. And most of them were like, "Hey, very positive, saying thanks for doing this." Okay. So, I kind of like to throw things for the best for the last. So the next one on the group of next company is the Tiger Tank Company.
Tiger Tank Company.
Tiger Burning Bright. How's it go? How's that go, Ann?
What?
Tiger Burning Bright, something like that.
Oh gosh, I don't remember. I know it's a Coleridge poem.
I was gonna say Coleridge too. Yeah.
Hold on a second. Tiger.
Oh, you're gonna go. I'm Googling it.
I am. I'm looking it up.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's William Blake. Never mind.
Oh, it's
I was
Blake?
wrong. It's Blake. It's
You know
I
what?
got it wrong.
Hold on. I'm not the English and literature major.
I screwed up. It's been a long time since my romantic poetry class. I'm sorry. No, it's William Blake.
William Blake.
Tiger, burning bright in the forest of the night. What immortal hand or eye could frame thy fearful symmetry? It doesn't rhyme.
Symmetry.
Symmetry.
When did he write that?
I believe
Was he trying to bed some woman? I mean,
18th century.
yeah, he's trying to bed some woman. Okay.
18th, 19th centuries, yeah.
So, Tiger Company. So, for those who are following in the book, the Tiger Company is, there it is. It is page 39 in your handout. Tiger Company.
Yeah, so this is one of the more simple formations.
All the tank companies are simple.
Yeah, you have an HQ of 1 or 2 Tigers.
Yep.
You can take up to 3 platoons of between 2 and 4 Tigers, and you can take some AA. And that's your lot.
That's your lot. Have you ever taken a Tiger Company and played it on the table?
I've not played it. I've played against it.
I have.
Yeah. Oh, I know, because that's who I played it against.
I have. I as just as a lark. I've they're all Hollywood tigers. So though I think since then I bought some real tigers and painted them up. But yeah, some say that they're overpriced.
Oh
Mm. But
But
I think they're about right.
yeah, I agree. They're a really strong choice. With what's out there right now, they're really good. You've got good armor, 9, 8 on the sides, 2 on the top. You've got a really strong gun, AT-14 with a 40-inch range.
Yeah.
You've got your hit on a 4. You've got your last stand and remount are both 2+. Everything else is a 4, and you're a veteran on top of it. It's really solid. It's good at killing other tanks. It's good at assaulting infantry. There's not much it can't do, really.
Hold on. I can't even. He admitted this in public. I played Patrick. I played a Tiger Company once. Lost to a Panzer IV list. No, that's not a joke. Was that in version 4? And do you need an intervention? Well, the other thing too, did you only take 2 tigers per list? 1, 2, and 2. So you only had 5 tigers. That's one way to lose, because if you even rolling last stand of 2+, you'll eventually find a 1.
Yep.
Yeah, and even if your one I see is babysitting them. The other thing is, he said he rolled lots of 1s.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's 1s are a killer to a Tiger tank.
Yeah, I think with the Tiger Company, I think the lucky card is almost required, because there is going to be a time where you roll that 1, and the lucky card basically saves you a Tiger tank. So your 1 point becomes 12 points.
Oh, good point. No, that's a good place for a 1 point card.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Oh, it seems like someone else is with you.
Yep.
Yeah, bring that lucky card.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah, nothing like that. Ha ha! He's coming off the table, and you're like, lucky reroll. Like, son of a gun.
Yeah.
And because that lucky card is well priced.
Yes, it is.
So I think one of the things about the Tiger Company, it does suffer the same problem as the rest of the German tank company, is that you can't take too much else. But the other problem of the Tiger Company is that you don't have much left after you put your formation together. Because if you did, even if you did 2, 3, 3, 36 is 60, 72, and 24. I mean, gee whiz, you're like 100 points with just with the 6, 7, 8 tanks. So that doesn't leave you too much. And I think the only thing that people want to do is try to get you into a fair fight.
Yeah, I mean, I think the best you can do with this is a 2, 2, and a 3. 2 HQ, a platoon of 2, and a platoon of 3 is probably the best way to get 7 on there, which will leave you some points left over for a few support options.
Oh, actually, we're getting anecdotal evidence of the lucky card. That happened in my game with Fritzy at GarageCon last Sunday. Lucky saved his platoon. and stayed as bacon. And if I know Fritz, he plays German. So, yeah. Now we talked about it. The thing is, if you take this, you don't have too much else. But then again, how much more do you need, right?
Yeah. I mean, your only problem with this is that every single tank that you lose is going to hurt a lot.
Yeah, you're attached to each one.
Yep.
You know, generally, I name all my Tiger tanks. You know, yeah, it's like, not Lucy. Oh, they got Lucy. Yeah. Where like a Russian's not too attached to anything. Like, oh, no, don't need that anymore. How would you rank this company of Tigers?
I think this one is for me, I would call it like a B plus. I want it to be an A, but I think it suffers from the being expensive and not having a whole lot else in the formation to keep them around. So,
yeah, for me, it's a solid B because you can't. Because basically your opponent, if the opponent's worth their grain of salt, they're going to try to get you into a fair fight. I think where the Tiger really shines is a support option for one of your infantry company.
Every single infantry list I build has a platoon of 2 Tigers to come in from reserve.
Yeah, because 36. Yeah, it's 36 points, and I usually add the ace card just because all of a sudden I'm at 39, and for 100 points I'm almost at my thing. What you need for the table, and I usually just play with 99 points. So there's my reserve.
There you go.
Let's see what the public has to say. You ready for this one?
I'm ready.
Yeah. B's, 35% B's, but in a close second, 28% said A, 21 said C, and then you got some M's for meta. And then our same list, D's for, but I'm definitely going to say it's definitely in the B category. I think the A's and C's wipe themselves out. I'm just, unfortunately, it just because you could get into a fair fight real easy, and you're just going to have issues in a fair fight. That's the thing you want to avoid the most with this tank company. Well, you're definitely not going to defend. Just don't pick defend.
Yeah.
Let's just plop that bad boy right into the B's. By the way, I played it at the last Toys for Tots that we had. I came with the Tanker company, and that was just fun. It's just a fun list.
For sure.
By the way, I went 8-1, 8-1, 8-1. Well, the thing was I avoided all the fair fights.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it would have been, sad day. Okay. Anyway, the last one is the Panther Company. Panther Tiger Company. Panther Tank Company.
Panther Tank Company.
Which I believe is on page 42.
It is on page 42, but it is not the answer to everything.
It's not?
It's not. It's not. Unfortunately, Panthers are overpriced.
Oh, no, they're overpriced. Oh.
They're overpriced. For each Panther is going to cost you 11 points.
Ouchie.
Which, if you kept notes from the last company, that's only 1 point less than a Tiger. But for that, you have the same front armor of 9. You have the same gun, so your 40-inch AT-14 gun.
Mm-hmm.
But your side armor drops to a 5.
Mm-hmm.
Your top drops to a 1.
Mm-hmm.
You have your motivation stays at a 4+ with a 3+ last stand. So That 1 point for the Tiger, it buys you an awful lot.
It does have better movement. Other than that, a non-tactical movement. But yeah, but do you have? Oh, it doesn't even have Schertzen.
No, because it's already got a side of 5. Schertzen gives you a side of 5 in V4.
Good point. Well, yeah, I think these blow.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the only thing that would make them worse is, your third option for your formation is you can take a platoon of Panzer IVs instead of Panthers. So, you can get all of it into one big formation of suck. So, yeah.
Well, you can go. You have to have the HQ 1 Panther, 3 Panthers, 2 Tigers, and then 3 Panzer IVs. I don't know. I don't think it could get any worse.
It's just so bad.
Yeah. These. Getting some comments about the Panthers. Yeah, they're.
Yeah, I mean, just like the Panzer IV, I really want Panthers to work. When I was young and starting to learn about World War II, you see the Panther. It's up there with the Tiger as the iconic tank of the conflict, and it should be good. It really should work, but unfortunately, it just doesn't. Not at 11 points a tank.
No. Yeah. It's once again where like I was talking about that 100-point system. 1 point. It's okay. So I'm not going to take some recon or something like an extra set of recon. I'll just throw it instead of Panthers, I get Tigers. I just don't see why. I think between the two, you want to take the Tiger.
The other thing that hurts it too is you have to take 3 of them in a unit. So your minimum unit size is 33 points. Whereas your Tigers, you could take a unit of 2 for 24 points. All right, so you've got more chances of getting support in there. With this one, with 33 points as your minimum platoon size, there's going to be nothing left over for support, and they need a lot of support to be good.
Yeah. You know what? I'm going to post this up here. Brian, he says it should be about 9.5. So you know what he's really saying?
They're overpriced.
Mm-hmm.
No drinking music this time.
I don't know. You're on the button.
I'm not going to do it.
You're not going to do it? Okay. What would you give them?
Well, what I give them, this is a D.
Yeah, I am going to agree. It's a D.
Yeah, I mean, can we make an E, like something even worse off the scale?
Oh no, I think I put the Pumas there. Okay. Well, let's see what the community has to say. Well, almost half, 41% said C, 28 said D. I think that's the highest D in the whole thing. 23% said B. Maybe they just have a fun, thing for it. And 5% said A, and 2 jokers said M. I think that might be the same 2 jokers. So we'll just throw the M, the high and low score out. It looks like, I'm just going to say it's a D.
It's a D.
Yeah, it's that bad. Because why would you take it? And the thing is that you don't have enough to keep things from coming on your side.
Yeah.
You just don't have enough.
No.
So I'm going to move these guys over to a D. Okay, and let me remove that. Put it back to us. So the one of the questions here is how many M's will be in the poll? So far we have not hit a solid M. Now, I think in the British book, I don't think there was any M's or anything getting close. This book, the infantry options were getting close to an M. It's just something about each one of them was enough of a drawback to keep it out of the M. Mortar options, or the fact that you can't take Panzerfaust, or stock up with Panzerfaust. That just kind of slips it out of there for that that no-brainer. That's the list. But once again, I think all the infantry options. Let me do this. Let me share that. Let me get that back up. Share and there we go. Let me bring this back up and boom. Yeah. So it's coming back down to it. Just go full screen here. Let's see if I can, instead of putting in the try and make it as big as possible. So so no M's in really this one, in this, and your main infantry are A's, your Fallschirmjägers are B's, your Tigers are B's, then your beach defense and the Stugs. I think the only reason the Stugs didn't hit the D is because you can take infantry with them.
Yep.
The half-track scout company and the Panzer 21st Infantry ends up in the C. The Panzer IVs, the Hot Kisses, Pumas, and Panthers, unfortunately, hit there. Now remember, we're gauging this stuff based off of a tournament, okay? You know what? And hold on a second, go Patrick. You may be right. We'll see. I gotta give enough time for people to play. Matter of fact, this weekend I'm going to play some Soviets. So I'll see how some of that stuff does. I'm going to branch out and see how various things interact with each other and see how they work. But first of all, remember, just kind of remind everybody, we're looking at these things with the eye of bring it to a tournament. And I have 3 to 6 fun games, depending on the size of the tournament. You could still bring a C rank to a tournament and have fun. I mean, just don't expect to, you're probably not going to win the tournament, but you probably will have a lot of fun. I've done stuff like that. I'm like, hey, I'm just going to bring something fun to a tournament and run it and had a blast.
Absolutely.
And and your B's are not too bad, but the things like the Tiger Tank Company, the major downfall of it, if you're attacking or you're the guy where you start with everything, you're super strong. But as soon as you have to say someone gets you in dust up or in counter, and it's like, oh, that's gonna be the fastest game of the day, because you just don't have enough to cover the table.
Yeah, you'll definitely struggle with that.
Right. That's not fun. Who likes that? I've heard, with the Tiger Tank Company, recon capturing objectives because there wasn't enough assets across the table to cover an objective. So, a smart player will put you in that kind of position. But in this book, I think the infantry, the main core infantry is the way to go. They are solid. You have your options to play with. It's just find the one that you like to play, and you'll have a really good time, and you'll be competitive. So I think those are competitive lists. The other thing too, I know we'll find out how many M's we get. Maybe meta is a myth. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. I think these lists come close, but there's little things that just that someone could catch you short on, and exploit. But that not every list has an answer to it, and not every list is an answer to everything else. Maybe. I don't know. We'll find out. So I don't know. What's your wrap up thoughts on this, Keith?
Yeah, I mean, I think that you nailed it. With the infantry are the real winners in this book. They're really solid. I think the tanks are generally too expensive to be really effective as tournament lists. Unfortunately, hopefully the Bagration German book might fix some of that for us and make it possible to bring them back. But definitely for now, if you want to go to a tournament and give yourself a good shot of winning a lot of games, I think you got to go with infantry.
I gotta have my sound off. I'm sorry.
Yes, you're right, Keith. And I don't know what that producer's doing.
I'm sorry, Keith.
It was like a Rickroll.
That's awful, man. That's terrible.
Yeah.
It was a Rickroll. Sorry.
And so am I. Yeah. Okay, a little Rickroll story. So it was Thanksgiving many moons ago, and the Macy Days Parade is on, right?
Uh-huh.
And what was it? Something Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. They come up in front of Macy's for the main stage or the main viewing grandstand, right? And they start doing the theme song for the courtship of Eddie's father. It's amazing how I remember this, right? And all of a sudden, right in the middle of it, you hear like a record scratch. And
Rick rolled, yeah.
And but he actually came out and sang the song.
Yes, Rick Astley
came out and sang the song. What's the name of the song?
Never Gonna Give You Up.
Never Gonna Give You Up.
Right.
Yeah. Never let you down. I'm gonna desert you. Anyway, and it came out and did it, and I'm like, oh my god, they just rickrolled the Macy Day Parade. How brilliant!
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's like, and I'm like, I don't know how many people know.
Probably going, what was going on there?
Yeah, it's great. Anyway, by the way, that was a good cartoon. Anyway, but
sorry, back on topic.
I digress from that.
Do.
That thing. So yeah, you want to get me off? There you go. Now get me off subject. Anyway, so let's talk about let's play What Did We Learn? I got the first one out there. Sorry. It's having a laughing fit.
What?
Oh, well, anyway, I'm glad I amused my wife. Anyway, the first thing we learned is I learned I learned to many people that a puma is a C instead of a D. Hold on. Here's the one. I learned today Don't admit that you lost to a Panzer IV list on Facebook.
Yeah, definitely.
No. Yeah. Don't worry. It's not going to be kept forever or anything like that.
Yeah.
People forget.
It's okay, Patrick. They're overpriced.
Oh,
Oh. Oh, how about this one? From John Segerberg the Fourth. I learned we're going to see you in Kentucky.
yes.
That is correct. What's this one here from Rich? I learned I should have beer while I watch this. Yeah, actually, I think that's going to be probably one of the things about this. On here.
We learned about the $100 challenge.
Yep, learn about the $100 challenge.
Panzer IV challenge, yep.
Andrew says, I learned I'll be finishing painting my Panzer IVs. Yep. And it could be $100 in your pocket. What else? You good now?
I'm fine.
Okay, good.
I'm good.
Oh, you good?
Yes. I'm
Okay.
fine.
It's all right?
I'm all good.
Okay. All right. So if you like this and you watched all the way to the end, make sure you subscribe to our different channels, and so that you can get alerts from when we have more show, when the show comes on. Typically we're on Tuesdays, but next week we'll be there. It'll be Monday, and I'll be talking about different ways of doing tournaments, and probably have some other announcements. Seeing that's the end of the season and everything, I'm going to do a season wrap up and that kind of thing. That should be riveting. Join into that one, and you hit a recap of this just season. It was just a nail biter. Not anyway.
Yeah, 2020 is terrible.
Yeah, I can't wait till this one goes by.
Yep.
And the sad of it is we got October, November, December. I mean, we got
Yeah.
I can't wait to see what the doorbuster deals are for Black Friday. Yeah, I'm like, I don't think so. No. Anyway, so yeah, if you like it, subscribe, become a member of our various channels. It's just that way you can get when we do these things, you can get alerted. Because we do this for the love of the community. That's why I do it. What else? We got 3 tournaments wrapping up the season that I know of.
Guess what I'm bringing on Sunday, Joe?
Are you Panzer Force?
No.
Oh,
I'm bringing Panzer Grenadiers.
Panzer Grens with Tigers as support. Yeah.
Yep.
How many points you guys playing?
100.
100 straight up. Yeah, I think we're doing 105, and the guys in Ohio are doing 115.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you're doing 100, 105, 115, okay, so it's all over the place. Yeah, it's just good stuff. You have anything, Ann, that you want to add to the conversation?
No.
Okay, that's very good. Anyway, Keith, thank you for being our SME. It was
anytime, Joe.
It's good to hear your take on things because Keith is very experienced with Germans. He has won many a game with them.
And he's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and a lot of fun. So, yeah, he fits well with the format.
Yeah, and I'm not overpriced.
Oh! I think with that, I'm going to use it to play it out. Play us out, Ann. I am. Beer, 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 beer.
Happy Oktoberfest.
Happy October in September.